Final preseason game is Sunday, and in this video, I'm going to give you 5 things to look for in this game. Yes, it's preseason. Yes, ultimately the score doesn't matter, but there's a lot of things that do matter in this game, and it can spell how this season could play out with who wins camp battles, continue the aggression at certain spots and certain positions. So we're going to get into it. But before we do, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead, hit that big red subscribe button. Dropping content every single day on Lions Nation Unite. Make sure you hit it so you don't miss out on the epic content. With that said, let's get into it. One of the biggest things that we need to pay attention to in this game is Okudah versus Harris. Will Jeffrey Okudah, the 3rd overall pick just a couple years ago, be able to beat Will Harris for that number 2 cornerback spot? Or will Will Harris beat Jeffrey Okudah? Who is going to be that number 2? This is really important. We need to know who's going to be opposite of Amani Warrior. And I know Aaron Glenn saying that there's going to roll for both of these guys, and there is. But personally, you want to see who's consistently going to be out there. That's what I want to see, and I would like to see Jeffrey Okudah win this freaking thing outright. I feel like he's getting better each game, little by little, getting better from the injury that he sustained last year, and you would like to have the 3rd overall pick be able to be on the defense on a consistent basis, week in and week out. Can he do it? Can he be able to finally take that flag like he's on the moon, throw it down, and say, this is mine? That's what we're looking for here. How well does he go against George Pickens, if he'll be going against him, or the other Steeler wide receivers? Our secondary has been shredded recently. The Colts really hurt us. How well will Will Harris and Okudah be able to slow this thing down? Can they make progressions? Can they get better in the secondary? And this goes as a secondary as a whole. Can the Lions get this thing together so it's not a glaring weakness going into 2022 season? There's going to be a lot of teams that are good with the aerial, with the pass attack. We need to have some good defense, some good defensive backs out there to help us out. So we'll see about that one. Come on, Okudah. You can do it. Folks, I think we're like 3 subscribers away from hitting another mark. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 3,400, and I think it would be 80 at that point subscribers. Or if you ain't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's get to 4,000 subscribers. Let's continue on. The backup quarterback position has been tight, the race for it. The fighting of Tim Boyle and David Blough, week in, week out in training camp, it's been up and down. And just like the coaching staff, I do believe it's neck and neck. It can pretty much go either way. Both quarterbacks had moments of good. Both quarterbacks had moments of bad. We've seen it so far in the preseason. David Blough fumbles. We lose a game. Tim Boyle throws an interception. Then Tim Boyle throws a good pass to Funches for a touchdown. A good touchdown drive against the Colts. And Blau will be able to do the same thing. So ultimately, how this game comes out, and they're both going to have a half to show it. Jared Goff's not playing. So each quarterback's going to have some time to show themselves. And whoever starts out, I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to have the starting offensive line and starting wide receivers. So that could be an indication as well. But, if they do poor, whoever starts that spot, and then the other quarterback comes in and does well, that could be your backup quarterback. That is exactly how it could go. So watching each snap for these guys is really important. I mean, each one, literally one snap could determine it somewhat because it's so close of a race here. I still believe with my heart of hearts that Tim Boyle has the edge, but it definitely could change Sunday versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. All we got to do is see what happens in that game. Do you like epic gear? Well, then go to lnushop.com for the latest and greatest sweet merchandise that they have on there. Sweet shirts, awesome hats, balaclavas, cups. They have everything. Rep your team. Rep it with an epic lion and a cool crown on there. Gear up. That's what it's all about. You got game day coming here soon for the regular season. We're real close now at this point. So make sure you go to lnushop.com for this sweet, sweet stuff. That's what it's all about. The trenches. Now, one side of the trenches I am not too worried about. That's the offensive line. I believe the offensive line has solidified themselves as one of the best in the NFL. We've seen it week 1, absolutely dominating. Now we're going to see a lot of these starters play in week 3. I suspect they're going to dominate. They've done it all training camp. That's just been something that we've seen, and I want to see it continue versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Really give you a good idea how this thing's going to go, because if your offensive line can say consistently win in the league, that's what happens. You open up the holes, hashtag smash the hole, get running for first downs, and protect your quarterback. Fantastic. Who's going to be the backups as well? You got Tommy Kramer in there. You got Stenberg, Evan Brown. He's solidified as our primary backup. Who's going to be the tackles? Nelson didn't look too good. Last couple, we got Lamb in there. Obina Eze, can he throw his name in the hat? We'll see on this one regarding the offensive line. The questions are a lot less there because I do believe they're consistent. Let me know in the comment section. Rate the Detroit Lions starting offensive line in the NFL, 1 being the best, 32 being the worst. Tell me what you think about the Detroit Lions offensive line. Let's go to the more questionable part of the trenches, and that's the defensive line. Week 1 in the preseason, they looked bad. Week 2 versus the Colts, they looked awesome, dominant, destroying the Colts offensive line. The Colts have a good offensive line, and they absolutely ripped them apart. It was night and day. They couldn't run on the Lions. There was a lot of quarterback pressure, a lot of standouts in there. Can they repeat what they did to the Colts versus the Steelers? That's what I'm looking for here. Be able to continue to grow, just like Dan Campbell says, the upward movement. If they're more consistent with the Steelers as they were with the Colts, that's really good for the Lions, because we do need the defensive line to step up. When you can have that type of pressure, when you can stop the run, you can win football games and get turnovers. You can. Forcing a team to be basically one-dimensional with the aerial attack. Yes, we're right now susceptible to the pass, but if you can stop the run, lock that down, and it forces quarterbacks, at some point they're going to make an error, and you can get a turnover. What if the Lions' defensive line is like the Falcons? They revert back to a bad game. Then you have more consistent of bad play in the trenches, and that's not good for the Lions. You have an opportunity maybe to upgrade a interior defensive lineman somehow if they don't play well. When another team or other teams decide to cut their players, maybe there's a name out there you could pick up to help that. We get to really find out. It's like a boxing match here. Round 1 went to the defensive line being bad. Round 2 went to the defensive line being good. What is the de facto winner here in round 3? What's going to happen in this game? Steelers got a good run game. They're a very sound football team all around. So can the Lions defensive line show up on Sunday? I really, really hope so, because that would be good news for the Detroit Lions. Lions linebackers here. Who's showing up here? Malcolm Rodriguez, to me, has been the most consistent player in the linebacker, 6th-round pick. Shout out to him. I'm sure he's going to show up again in this game. He's shown consistently he has been someone you can rely on with the big hit. Is he going to make a rookie mistake? Absolutely. It's going to happen. But that's okay. That's what I expect. I don't expect him to be DeAndre Levy. But if he's consistently getting better and he, fixes mistakes in the next game, that's what you want to see. That's what I expect. I know what I got for him, but what about Derek Barnes? What is Derek Barnes going to do here? Week 1, not good. Week 2, a little bit better. Can he be better in this game? Can he do the upward movement here? Because we need linebackers to step up. Chris Ward. What's up, man? In minicamp, you're making some noise. Training camp, not so much. We need you to step up. We haven't seen Alex Anzalone yet in the regular or in a preseason game. We've seen him in the regular season last year. How well does he perform if he's playing? Again, Dan Campbell said he's going to play a lot of their starters. We don't know exactly what starters are going to play. We know Jared Goff's not. Who's going to step up? Jared Davis. Can he make some noise? Because right now I feel like he's in the outside looking in regarding a roster spot. All eyes on the linebackers, who a lot of people believe, myself included, is the Achilles heel of this team. We got to get it better. How about the rookies all around? Again, I know we have with Aiden Hutchinson. I just want to see him do it just because I'm a fan. But primarily, I'm looking at the other rookies right now. Who's going to step up for the Detroit Lions? James Mitchell. He got in last week. I want to see him in this week more. I want to see what he can do. We drafted this tight end to be tight end 2. Can he make some plays for the Lions? This is a big game. This will be more opportunities for him to get some reps. Kirby Joseph. I don't know. The coach is saying he's getting better, and I hope he is. Can he get better? Can he get a turnover? Because what I'm seeing is a little more mental mistakes than you'd hope for. Hopefully he can curb some of these mistakes. Make some plays for the Lions on defense, because we're hurting at that safety position opposite of Tracy Walker. That's just a fact. Chase Lucas. Can he continue to be a standout as a rookie? 7th-round pick there. He's been doing a fine job. I'd love for him to get a turnover because he wants it so bad. I would like him to make the team. I think he's going to make the team. We do need help at secondary, so if he can be better and show an improvement from the Colts game, that's awesome. He's going to be going against Kenny Pickett, Mitchell Trubisky. What is he going to bring to the table for the Detroit Lions? And most importantly, with all this, I want to see no injuries for each team. 0 injuries. No need to injure a starter in this game or backups at all. Please, no injuries. Folks, dropping videos every single day. Post-game show on LNU will be after the Lions game, whenever it ends. Give it about 30 minutes after it ends. We'll be live up on LNU to talk about it. Video dropping tomorrow. It's all about the Detroit Lions, folks. All about the Detroit Lions. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's get this content flowing. Adios.